the best things about fall is how a warm drink or a good book can really just make life so good. Feels like forever since I've done a vlog for you, so I thought I'll take you along with some homemaking that I've been doing for the past week or so. Fall has always been one of my favorite seasons to reflect and slow down and really savor simple things at home. So today we're going to talk about a couple of good books I've been enjoying and some fall beauty products that I think you'll like, and we're going to do a little bit of autumn decorating, and we're also going to make a chamomile tea latte, which I think you'll enjoy. You know what I love about this time of year is that autumn feels like such a reset, and especially after the bright days and all the busyness of the summer, it seems like autumn just tells us to relax and slow down and reflect, and it just feels so much easier to cozy up and focus on the simple things. For me, it's really a season of being more intentional and enjoying those rhythms at home that just make life feel a little more calm and grounded. It's almost like nature's way of saying, let's rest, let's reset, and let's enjoy where we are right now. So with that in mind, I headed out to get some autumn decor inspiration. Now, I don't know about you, but I could wander the fall aisles forever. The pumpkins, all the dish towels, the candles, the pillows, it all just makes me so happy. And I only picked up a couple of little things that I knew would bring that autumn feeling home. These little spatulas are so cute. Oh my goodness. Oh, I think this one's going to be the winner. Once I got home, I pulled out one of my plastic containers that I have with all of my seasonal decor, and I started sprinkling some of those cozy touches around the house. It's funny how just a few simple details can totally shift the mood and make everything feel warm and welcoming. And really, it's not about having the perfect decor, it's more about creating a space that just feels calm, cozy, and comforting for the season. I've also been curling up with some books lately now that the weather's getting a little bit cooler, and I made a trip to one of the used bookstores that we have in town, which is one of my favorite places to get books, and this is one that I picked up, and it's This Side of Paradise by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and he is one of my favorite authors. He wrote The Great Gatsby, which is also one of my favorite novels, and this follows a young man named Amory Blaine, and it's very much a story of coming of age. He goes to school, he meets a woman, gets his heart broken, and it's the story of him just stumbling through life trying to figure out who he is. It's set in the early 1900s. The language in this book is absolutely lovely. It's beautifully written, and it has this slightly wistful, nostalgic feeling that feels just right for the season. The next book is called Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and this is the story of a young woman who marries a widower, and she moves into his estate, but she is shadowed by the presence of her husband's previous wife, Rebecca, who has died. And Rebecca's presence lingers everywhere, especially through the sinister housekeeper. This book is very suspenseful, it's atmospheric, and it's brimming with mystery, so an ideal choice for when the nights get longer. Now, also when the seasons change, I like to switch up my lip and nail colors. And one of the things I've really been reaching for a lot lately are these Maybelline lip crayons. Now, these are a matte formula, but they don't dry out your lips. They're quite creamy feeling, and they last a long time. There's a couple of colors that I've really been loving, and one of them is called Reach High, and this is a really nice brown nude shade. and it works for most skin tones. And the second one is the one that I have on today, and this one is called Live on the Edge, and it's a really beautiful, rich raisin tone. And if you have deeper coloring like I do, or if you want something that's a little bit more bold, this is a perfect choice. I also have another lip color for fall by Romand, and it's called Almond Rose, and it is the perfect rosy brown shade that suits a lot of different skin tones, and it is a glossy stain, so it goes on glossy but it stays on really good. It has wonderful lasting power and it feels very moisturizing on the lips. So I'll put all the colors that I'm going to talk about in the description as we go forward. Now, many of you know that I am absolutely in love with these Maybelline lifter glosses, and this one is in the color Petal, and I love this color because it works on just about every single lipstick that you put it over, and the formula is really nice and smooth. It's not sticky and they smell amazing. Now, there's also a couple of nail colors that I've really been enjoying, and one of them is the Sally Hansen Insta Dry, and this one is in the color Espresso, and this is just a really nice, rich, moody berry shade. And the next one is the Revlon Ultra HD Snap Nail Polish, and this color is in Birthday Suit, and that's the color that I have on today. And this is a beautiful nude pink, which I also think is perfect for fall or any time of year. Now, to round out the whole autumn feel, I like to switch out my fragrances seasonally as well, and the one I've been loving lately is Chantilly. Now, I am a fan of vintage fragrances, and this is one of them because it's been around since the 1940s and it's always reminded me of autumn. It's got this very warm, powdery vanilla, a little bit of spiciness. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a very elegant, ladylike fragrance, but it's kind of got that warm, cozy sweater vibe. And if I had to kind of describe the feel of it, it's kind of like imagining lace curtains billowing in the wind on a sunny afternoon. There's a kettle whistling in the background and a hot cup of tea. This is the fragrance that would capture that. Now, the thing I was tempted with when I went shopping was this cute pumpkin mug, and I thought it was so adorable. I couldn't resist. So I'm going to make a warm drink to put in here. Now, to make this little moment of calm, we'll start by making a cup of chamomile tea. Then we'll just set it aside for a few moments and let it steep. While it's steeping, you can warm up a little bit of milk and put it in a jar or a cup and stir in a drizzle of honey. Then add a half a teaspoon of vanilla. Now just froth it up until it's light and airy. Then pour the frothed milk into the mug over the chamomile and finish it off with a dusting of cinnamon on top. Simple, soothing, and just right for slowing down on a crisp autumn day. So I thought I'd share with you something that's a little quirky but makes me smile, and I know it makes a lot of you smile too. If you've been here a while, you know that we live near a forested area, so the woodland wildlife around here is just part of the neighborhood. Over time, I've made a few furry friends, and some of the squirrels are even bold enough to eat right out of my hand. So one day recently, my husband Dan and I were sitting outside having coffee, and I was joking around saying how hilarious it would be if the squirrels had a picnic table that they could sit at like they were joining us for lunch. Well, Dan's pretty handy and he loves to build stuff. So the next thing I know, he's in the garage pulling out all this scrap wood, and he made one. So yes, our squirrels officially now have a picnic table. And maybe it's a little quirky, but quite honestly, it's hours of entertainment, and it's so funny how something small and silly can just bring you so much joy and playfulness to your day. So we set the table up outside, and at first the squirrels weren't quite sure what to make of it. They sort of circled around, sniffing and looking suspicious, like, why is our lunch suddenly on furniture? But it didn't take long before they figured it out. And once they did, it was the sweetest little scene. Just sitting there at their tiny picnic table, happily munching away like it was the most natural thing in the world. Honestly, I think they enjoyed their lunch more than we did. We were given the sweetest gift of a box of apples, and apples are such a symbol of the season, humble and full of possibility. And of course, the very first thing I thought of was baking them into something warm and cozy. We were very lucky to receive this big box of apples from friends of ours, and what I'm going to do to use them up is I'm going to make a few apple crumbles. And I just went to the dollar store and I picked up these pans, and I just picked up a pack of 3 for $1.50 or so. I've just got a really quick and simple recipe that takes just hardly any time at all. I just toss the cut up apples with a bit of sugar and cinnamon, and the topping is so easy. I just combined about 2/3 of a cup of oats, 1/3 of a cup of sugar, 1/3 of a cup of melted butter, and the magic ingredient is 2/3 of a cup of graham cracker crumbs. Then just add in a pinch of salt and mix it all together until it's crumbly, and scatter it over the apples. And then bake it at 325 for about an hour. There is something so comforting about leaning into the season, whether it's a cozy corner at home or a warm drink in a special mug or just sitting down with a good book. And it's so great to reset our rhythms and our routines. I want to thank you so much for choosing to spend a little bit of your day with me. I really do appreciate it. Many blessings to you and your families. Take care, and we'll catch you in the next one.